This is my personal practice that I use for my spiritual practice, my mental health practice. It helps me out a lot. So I'm just gonna share what works for me, and maybe it'll work for you. If you're not at a place where you wanna try any tools out or try anything, that's okay too. Maybe one day you'll feel like doing this. Maybe just putting it in your awareness. And if one day this feels right to you, then give it a shot. If it doesn't feel right to you, if it feels too forced, don't force it. I will say this helps me most when I do it consistently, when I do it every day if possible. So I do this every night before going to bed, except one of them, which I'll show you. It can give me too much energy, so I'll sometimes wait. The first prompt I have in here is what I like about myself. I literally fill out one page every single day of just write down things that you like about yourself. And this can be really hard at first, because if you deal with a lot of negative self-talk or self-criticism, you're gonna hear a voice that's gonna counteract every positive thing you think. Basically, you're gonna try to write things that you love about yourself or that you like about yourself, and there's probably gonna be a but to every one of them. So the reason why this is really nice is because it's gonna start training your mind and your brain to start focusing on the things that you like about yourself. And again, it works best if you do this consistently, like especially if you give it a few weeks shot, then you're kind of rewiring your brain to start training it in a way that it's focusing on things you like about yourself. So, I mean, it can be anything too. I don't just mean like physical, I mean personality wise. I mean like one of the things I have on here is, I think it's really important to look people in their eyes when you talk to them, to let them know that they're seen and heard and valued and that you're present with them. And so I just put, I like that I try to look people in the eyes when I talk to them. Again, it could be something simple like that. Maybe you love a physical attribute about yourself. Maybe you love your hair. Maybe you love that you like nature. Maybe you love that you are artistic or creative. Again, even if you can think of 100 things you hate about yourself, if you can find that one, then maybe you can find that second one, maybe you can find that third one, and you're really gonna take control of your focus here. So every night, try to fill out one page in a journal of things that you like about yourself. And I will say with this process, it's sort of like, when you're stretching a muscle in your body and it's really, really tight, and then when you breathe into it for like 30 to 45 seconds or however long it is, you'll feel that tightness release. And then like the muscle releases, and then you can stretch even further. That's how this is gonna be with your brain. So you might be able to come up with 10 things off the bat within just a few minutes filling out your page. That's great, but go further, because when you hit the point where you're like, gosh, I can't think of anything now. Like I wrote all the obvious things. Like I like this, I like this, I like this about myself. I can't think of anything else now. Don't move on to the next prompt. That's when you're really carving new neural pathways in your brain. When you're having to consciously focus on, okay, I went through my list of all the obvious things I like about myself. Now you're gonna start using your brain and working it like a muscle and finding those other things that are harder to find or maybe not as obvious for you. That's when you're really helping heal your brain. So just whenever you do this, yes, get through the easy first 10 or whatever that you can think of, but then don't move on to the next prompt yet. Sit with it longer and try to come up with like 5 more or 10 more. Because when you're really having to consciously focus your attention, you're really working your brain to carve those new neural pathways in it. That's when you're really gonna start noticing differences. And when you do that consistently, you will literally have new channels in your brain focused on things you like about yourself. So that's one thing that I've noticed with this. When I started, I would just do like the first 10 and I'd be like, okay, that was great. I did my homework, and then move on to the next. And I didn't really see results from that. I started seeing the best results when I hit the obvious ones, and then I really had to work hard and use my mind to find the next ones. And then I started noticing, like if you're working out in the gym or you're stretching, like now I can stretch a little further. Now it's a little easier. Now my list went from 10 to now I have 50 easy things that I love about myself. And I only grew 3 at a time, so it took a couple weeks, but I went from having 10 easy things I liked about myself to 50 within 2 weeks. That's huge. That is huge. Because you went from having one positive thing out of 100 or 10 out of 100, a 1 to 10 ratio, to now a 50-50. And then if you keep going, eventually that ratio is gonna rebalance itself. So that's gonna be true for all of these prompts. So the second prompt that I do is my proudest moments in life. Literally, it's my proudest moments in life. This is also a really great prompt. So this one, dig through your past, dig through your present, whatever you need to, and just think of what are moments in your life that you are most proud of yourself for. They could be as big as I graduated from college and I paid off my student loans, or they can be as small as, I called my friend when they really needed me, and at a sacrifice that I had to make or something, or like I had to give up tickets to go to this concert to be with my friend who really needed me. I'm really proud of myself for that, because that's how I would want to be treated. So it can be any of that. The nice thing about this prompt also is it's gonna teach you a lot about yourself. You're gonna learn what your real values are and what's really important to you. And the more you start learning about yourself and understanding what your values are, what you're most proud of about yourself, it's gonna be a lot easier where you direct your attention and focus moving forward. And just spend more time on those things that you're most proud of yourself for moving forward. Because then I'm using my time and energy on things that I value. I'm no longer giving it away to other people. I'm no longer giving away my power. And again, you're gonna be creating new neural pathways to where that emotion of feeling proud of yourself is going to be retrained in your brain. So then as you go about your day, you'll start noticing, wow, I'm really proud of myself. I ate a really healthy meal today. Good job. And it's gonna start changing the way you talk to yourself. So again, it might be easy to fill out those first 5. Don't stop after that. Push yourself for another 5. It's literally like working a muscle out at the gym. And over time, you're going to build those new neural pathways in your brain and literally rewire and heal your brain. So the next one is just, I'm thankful for. This is just a normal gratitude list. You hear about it all the time, gratitude. I also do that as well, especially before bed. I think it's a great way to end the day. I'm thankful for, and then writing down lots of little things, whatever that is, as small as I'm thankful for the open parking space at the restaurant that was packed out, and I'm thankful for the people in my life who keep showing up for me. It can be anything and everything. It doesn't matter. It's just focusing on things to be grateful for. And again, what will happen is as you start going about your day, whenever you make this a nightly routine, you're gonna start noticing in the middle of the day, oh, this is something I can write down later in my journal that I'm thankful for. I'm so glad that this happened. And then you'll start looking for it. And then that's when you've really hit the sweet spot, when you start finding that you're looking for things to write down in your journal later that you were grateful for. You're looking for things that you're proud of yourself for. It's really great. The next one is the positive aspects page. I took this one from Abraham Hicks, the Esther Hicks, who does the channelings of Abraham. She recommends, her thing was if there's 3 things that she would start doing now, it would be to meditate every day. It would be to go out in nature and appreciate nature. And then the third thing was to write 3 to 5 pages every single day of positive aspects or things that make you happy, basically. And it could be anything and everything, just something that brings you joy. So I started doing this, and it's actually really fun. Just you have to make time to do it. The one caution I will say about this prompt is that I used to do it at night, and sometimes I still do, but when you're writing 3 to 5 pages of things that make you really happy, that you just love, it gives you so much energy. Like, it kind of gives you this like high, because you're like literally boosting serotonin and dopamine or whatever in your brain. And so when I do this at night before going to bed, I sometimes have a really hard time falling asleep after, because I feel so energized and because my brain is now working to just focus on all the amazing things in life. But yeah, this can be anything and everything too. I mean, everything as small as, anything. It could be a flower. It can be somebody in your life. It can be something big that brings you joy. It can be dark chocolate, a piece of dark chocolate that's so delicious that's been like a little cold because it was in the fridge. Something like that. That's great. Or it can be something like, the beautiful mountains, or, the sky or the clouds, or just how beautiful, whatever it is. It could be your dog. I write down, I love dogs, so I put a lot of dog stuff in here. I'm just like, the way the dog plays is so cute. Stuff like that. You want to like, just write about it, just geek out about it for a while. And the nice thing about this exercise is if you've been feeling passionless for a while, this will slowly start reigniting passion in your body and in your mind. And again, you want to do this more than once. If you can keep this up for like a few weeks, even like 3 weeks, I mean, you'll start noticing it right away, but you have to be disciplined with this. Really set aside like 30 minutes a day to just do this journaling, more if you have time. But if you are really disciplined about this for a few weeks, you will start to notice differences in your life, in the way that you feel. I had to get really into this stuff because I developed some chronic pain issues, and I just couldn't stop obsessing over the fact that I was in pain. And this really helped me a lot with that, of just starting to focus on the good things, was getting that, feel good hormones going, all the serotonin going. So the last one that I have depends on if you're a spiritual person or not. I know I put a lot of spiritual content on this channel also, is ways that my guides are taking care of me. This one, you could also just call it synchronicities if you wanted to. I put all these like crazy synchronicities that may have happened to me, or ways that I feel like a higher power is looking out for me, because it helps reinstill my faith in that higher power and the belief that there are higher beings looking out for me and protecting me, guardian angels, whatever you want to call them, and that they love me, they care for me, and that I'm never alone. So it reinforces a lot of very important beliefs for me, that I'm never alone, that I'm here because there are divine beings who love me and are focusing their attention on me. I'm guided and protected by the universe, that I can surrender and trust life a little more. That's why this one's really important to me. It helps me reinforce those beliefs that I want to believe. So those are my main journal prompts here. I wanted to add, I also have one more if you're in like the midst of like an intense, anxious moment. I also have a page that's just evidence that confirms or deny. If I have like a thought or a belief that's like troublesome to me, I'll write it down, and then I'll put all the evidence of whether or not it's true, or all the evidence of whether it's not true, and then I can see it more clearly. It's kind of the Byron Katie loving what is method, where you question, is it true? Is it true? That also helps a lot. So those are my main ones. I don't do that one all the time. The main ones I do are the first ones that I mentioned to you. This is my personal journal, and this is my personal exercise that I do, that I notice huge results. And I can tell if I have gone a while not doing this, that it's easier for me to start noticing the things that might be feeling unsafe or going bad, especially because there are this is the other thing too I will say about this. It's not your fault. Like, there's so many voices in this world, through media, through just connections, through word of mouth, that are constantly focusing on the negative, that are constantly giving you a million things to be afraid of, a million things to be scared about, a million things to feel bad about. That at this age that we live in, with media and accessibility and the internet, you have to be really bold and deliberate with choosing to focus on things that you love about yourself, that you like about yourself, to feel grateful for, and that make you happy. And this will help bring you back to who you are, and help you bring you back to your voice, and reconnect with how you really feel and who you really came here to be in the midst of so much noise and chaos in the world. And it's going to be you're going to feel better, but it's also just going to remind you that, wait a minute, life's not horrible. Like, actually, there's a lot of things that I kind of like about life, and there's a lot of things that actually do make me happy. But you have to it's so loud around us, especially with the internet and social media and just everything that we experience in our energy as well, just our collective energies, that you have to be really bold and deliberate about this. So I think that it's really important for everyone to do that. If you're watching this video, you're probably just a very sensitive person, so you're picking up on a lot of stuff that might not even be you or yours. So this helps you take your power back. This is what I do as often as I can, every day if I can. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope it helps you. And if you do try this, I would love to know, tell me how it's working for you. Tell me if it is working for you. Tell me if you thought of another journal prompt that came out of it that worked for you. Also, if you guys want to get some comments going, it would be amazing if you guys could start putting in the comments things that you're proud of yourself for, or things that just make you happy. What are positive aspects about life that you love. Just drop them in the comments and get it going here. You don't even have to like go out and buy a journal. Just let's all feed off of each other and support each other in this community and remind each other why life is so wonderful. So anyways, just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.